right, so we'll do a do-over. We can talk about the Worlds. We got the Worlds going on right now. Dick Cheeseburger posted a video this morning of one of his practice laps.
Mm-hmm.
Killing it. He looks strong.
You know, it's funny about him. It's that at first I thought he was somewhat of a character-ish kind of guy with the Dick Cheeseburger thing, and I go, who is this guy? You know, he had this big fake mullet on and the big sunglasses, and I thought it was kind of funny. But then as I started watching his videos more and more, I was like, holy crap, this guy could ride. And he was actually at our local track in Manteca, I think a week ago, but I didn't get a chance to go down there and watch him ride. I guess he was doing a clinic for SE Racing, and man, he's just super impressive. Like his riding abilities over the top. You know, I think so. I don't know if you've seen any of his clips, Kevin.
I've seen him at Dirtyfest. I know nothing about him. What's his real name?
Jason Morris.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you got to take a look at him.
Was he a racer? Was he old? He's new school, right? He's
No.
not old school.
No, he's been around forever.
Yeah.
He's our age?
He's probably a little younger than us.
I think he's in his 40s.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because he's married to Courtney Tomei.
And she could ride. She's really good too.
Yeah, she's super fast.
Nice.
She just did an interview too, and she was talking. I thought it was interesting. I didn't know they had met back when they were 13 and 14 years old out at the track.
Wow.
Yeah, and then she said that they, you know, kind of, I don't know if they dated, but they met, maybe they were friends, hung out at the track racing, and then whatever. But, you know, they met back up again and got married, and they have two beautiful little boys now. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, and they're both, because she's like, I don't even know if they're 40. Like, she may even be like 36 or something, like super young. I just know when I have to race her, it's never good.
Oh, wow. Well,
I got a question for you, Holly, and I never get to talk to women racers. It's always guys that come on the show. So this is awesome for us. So, you know, I'm looking at talking about women's BMX racing now, modern day. And to me, it's so exciting to watch them now. Before it was like powder puff and we had a few girls racing. And then most of the time they were mixed with guys, which I'll talk to you about. But how do you feel about today's women's pro? And they're almost glamorized now too, with the way their uniforms are fitting. Not to sound sexual or anything like that, but they're very beautiful and fast and athletic, and it's just like this whole new thing. How do you feel about that, or do you agree with me on that?
100%. I think it's amazing where women BMXers have come. You know, being able to the international riders, like you said, the glamorized. At 53 years old, I totally look up to, you know, to Saya and to Elise and everybody. And like you said, their training regimen, and it's amazing. They're fast, and their skill level is just insane. Watching them at the Olympics over these ginormous jumps, or on their world's travels right now that they're doing, watching them sky triples like, you know, Cheeseburger does.
Right.
And then, I think that the sport's done a great job of making women racers, you know, be the women racers, like be women, but at the same time, their level's just off the charts. I absolutely look up to and idolize every single one of those young ladies.
Yeah, I think I started noticing more around 2008 when the Olympics was really kicked in. And I was like, golly, who are all these gals? You know, and you got Mariana Pajón and Elise Willoughby and Caroline Buchanan, all these super athletic women. And they're very feminine at the same time. And they're just super athletic, and they're just beautiful to look at and watch race. It's just nuts. Like, I'm telling you, as soon as the women get on the gate, I'm like, oh, let's see how Elise does, or let me see how they're doing. And I'm just really impressed by it. I think it's just come leaps and bounds from like the early 80s when I started racing, where it was just powder puff, and outside of Sherry Elliott, there wasn't any real giant superstars. I mean, there was Deanna Edwards and a lot of the names are escaping me right now. There was a few of them, but it wasn't like this massive
No, not like there is today. No, and then if you look at like what Caroline Buchanan's doing with mountain biking right now, I mean, and again, you know, you see her they show some of her lifestyle to where she's at these award ceremonies and she's dressed in a beautiful gown and heels, and then, then they go to her mountain bikes, clips, and she's,
Right.
or if she's promoting goggles or whatever she's doing, she's just, again, so beautiful, so talented, just everything about what these ladies, you think about it when we were kids, we were riding, we were
Yeah.
always covered in dirt. We were, in jeans, or if we had our, we had our uniforms or our kits, as you call them now. I always felt like I was just covered in dirt and dust and blood. And, like I was always rolling around in a dirt pile somewhere. And you look at these ladies now and you're like, they're immaculate. And then when you look at the bikes, we had chromoly bikes. We tried to customize them. We tried to add pink to them or whatever colors we wanted. Nowadays, what these ladies can do with their bikes to customize them to match their uniforms, to match their teams, to set themselves like apart from everybody else. I love it. It's amazing. I love what they've done with women.
Do you think it's easier for, sorry, Kevin, I'm just out on a roll, 'cause I never met Holly before, but do you think it's easier now for, let's say, a little girl to go, I want to race BMX, as opposed to when you started? And what do you think those differences are?
I'm going to say, yeah. I mean, again, when I was growing up, I looked up to, Sherry Elliott and Deanna Edwards were absolutely, the girls that I looked up to. And as you said, there weren't that many. And then even in the sport, you raced the boys back then. So I don't think that's like as appealing, as a
Right.
girl. It was kind of cool because you go out there and beat the boys and then they get all mad and like that's kind of fun. But now I think for the little girls seeing where Elise and everybody is, saying everybody, I think it gives them more of an inkling to be like, I can be a little girl. And now they have the bows to put on the helmets and the little pigtails. And I think it definitely would appeal to the little girls, or I think it does. Being out at Chandler track, I see all the little girls on the Striders and
Right.
stuff out there racing. And again, it's not just all dirty and dusty and, I mean, it still is, but you can glamorize it now and make it girly if you want. We didn't have that in the 80s. So. They definitely got a lot more, like you said, the broad spectrum, Delaney Vaughn, and having the
Right.
pros come out to your local track. We have Delaney and Darren Merton out at the track and Rachel Mydock out there at Chandler. We got Cam Wood coming out, practicing, and the little kids, some of
Yeah.
the dads or whatever, it's, hey, look who that is or whatever. There's Delaney Vaughn and I think these little kids can look up to him and just be like, we
Yeah.
didn't have that. Sherry Elliott didn't come and ride at our local track, on a practice night on Tuesday, or, Deanna
Yeah.
wasn't out there at Black Mountain or whatever. So, yeah, I think it's easier for the girls to get into it now and see the glamorous side of it.
Right. There's a lot more heroes now than there was back in the day, I guess you could say, right?
Yeah, and there's like,
Yeah.
again, there's so many of them that they're out at your local tracks, Delaney going out to San Diego BMX to train or ride, or, now these little kids can see these Olympians, these pros coming out. So I think that's definitely eye-catching for the little kids.
Right. What were you going to say, Kevin? I'm sorry, I cut you off.
I was just, I don't want to, I don't know. I feel weird to even ask this question, but I mean, it seems like they're marketing on looks for women, right? I mean, is that not what you were talking about? Is that what you were alluding to possibly? Or I don't know. I don't know if that's really, if you guys think that. I don't even know if that's the case, because I really don't look at any of the new magazines or anything like that, but I just would assume that what you guys are talking about, that it may be more of a marketing thing for women's looks. I don't know. Is there any truth to that at all, you think? Or
I can answer that. To my opinion, it's an Instagram, Facebook, TikTok world now. So
Yeah.
you really need to self-promote if you're going to put your name out there. And I hate to say it, but being attractive could help. I mean, I don't honestly, if a girl's dominating, I don't care what she looks like. She's awesome. You know what I mean? But I think
right.
think there is some value to self-promotion and making sure you look good, you look clean, you look presentable, you look eye-pleasing, so that people are going to click and follow and watch.
Yeah, I was just talking about from the sports perspective on the big grand scale of things. I guess like anything else, I mean, I guess I answer my own question. I
Yeah.
don't even know why I asked the question.
Well,
I guess the answer is already.
the same could be said about men because you got Cam Wood out there, Cam Larson, Isaac Kennedy. These guys are super athletes. They're super cut and they look incredible. They look like superheroes out there in their race uniforms. So
Yeah.
like I go, wow, those guys are just amazing looking, you know, and it just makes you go, man, I really wish I was young and could do that.
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah.
Being ripped back in the day, it was, as from a male perspective, right? It wasn't a necessity. It was actually kind of rare, right, to have a really ripped male BMX racer in the 80s.
Well, I mean, you had your Pete Lonkaraviches and your Stu Thompsons and things like
but
that.
other than that, I mean, you didn't have to be ripped up or overly muscular. I mean, to race. I mean, I don't think so.
No, look at like Eric Root, and he's like an average-looking dude, but he was obviously he's in great shape. Don't get me wrong, but him, Harry, Larry, they're just normal-looking, good shape guys. But these guys right now, I'm just the top level riders. It's incredible. I'm always impressed. I watch their stuff all the time. I'm like, holy crap, these guys are superhuman now.
So let me ask both of you guys a question because both of you guys are up on the current stuff. Now, I think I know the answer to this, but I'll just answer for the sake of conversation. Danny, take Greg Hill and put him on an Olympic track right now. He could do it, but could he compete? Let's just say, let's put any pro from the 80s into the Olympics today. They could obviously clear the jump, stuff like that, but do you think that they could compete if they had a chance to get up to speed? Or do you think it's surpassed everybody?
No, I think because the sport has evolved so much, it wouldn't be a fair comparison to say, can Greg Hill race on a supercross?
I'm not saying comparison. I'm saying, is it possible? Could you take a guy from the 80s and could he compete if he had a chance to catch up? He's 18, 19, 20, whatever the case may be. Or do you think that it's a different animal now and maybe not?
I think eventually they could. Yeah, I think if it's 1988 and or let's say 1984 Greg Hill, yeah, that guy was unbelievable. So yeah, he could probably adjust. You know, I had asked this question on a different podcast many years ago, and I said, what if you took four of the top modern day pros against four of the top 80s pros and put them on a traditional BMX track with flat pedals, then what would happen? That would be interesting because that would really even the playing field, you know, but I still think that the riders today are just next level. But everything evolves. Everything gets faster and bigger, you know.
I think they could compete, but they may not dominate or be top level. I mean, Sherry Elliott, you put Sherry Elliott in today's racing. What do you think, Holly, or anybody else from the 80s against women now? I think it's a different story.
I mean, I think Sherry Elliott, Deanna Edwards, maybe Debbie Kelso could definitely, I think they'd give the girls a run for their money now. I could see her out there with Saya and stuff like that. Yeah, I think even if you got Sherry on a mountain bike and put her up with Caroline Buchanan, I think she could definitely, I think they'd be all right.
Yeah, I think it's just environment. I think that and I really think this, I think that you took like Pete Lonkarovich or anybody else and put them in, and they trained and they grew up with the new guys in this era, I think they could compete. I think the skills transfer. I think they're applicable to this day. So I just think it's a different mindset, or different environment.
Absolutely.
Holly, how do you feel about today's sport versus yesterday's sport, and what are the things that you like about what's happening now versus what was happening then, and what were your preferences and so forth?
I mean, obviously being an 80s rider, I'm a little bit biased there. I love the 80s.
Yeah.
I like how the sport's more publicized. Like, so it's out there. I like that it's in the Olympics. I like that the worlds are being, they're being published, more, that we can watch them on TV. We can watch them on our phones, on YouTube. Or I think Pole has a website that you can watch them on. I like that they're doing that, making it more accessible to everybody. I can sit there at work and pull up a national and have my earbuds in and, watch the race in Vegas, from work or whatever. And I like that we're able to do that. The bikes are insane, incredible. The whole disc brake setup is just amazing. The weight of the bikes, I think, is cool. I like the the diversity, that the parts that you're able to like I said earlier, like with the women, you're able to customize your bike, and Daylight Cycles coming out with all their insane bikes and the things that they can do, and the dipping that they can do on the frames now. And, you have a Josh Randall, Camel Joe, making, the necks and the seat clamps and all the crazy stuff that, he's coming out with. I like all that. I like the uniforms. I'm not a big fan of clips. They're kind of scary. You have to ride them.
Yeah.
And it's not even that you really have to ride them. I do notice a difference if I'm riding in clips or flats. I prefer my flats and my Vans, but
You go back and forth on those with the clips
I
and the
do.
flat?
I do.
Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
scared to death of those pedals, man. I just won't put them on. And I was at a local track, Holly, one day, and I was talking to a couple guys my age, and they were on clips. And I go, man, I'm afraid to do that. And they go, do you feel comfortable on your flats? And I go, yeah. They're like, then just race flats.
Yeah.
That's what they told me. I was like, okay, thanks.
Well, my biggest thing is like, if you need to put your foot out, like for some reason, which the way the tracks are made nowadays, you really kind of don't have to. But, even when I first started with clips out at Chandler, going into the first turn, I'm clipped in, and I was manualing because I'm trying to learn how to manual back then. And I over manualed and looped out. I'm clipped in, and I land right on my tailbone. Ended up rupturing the bursa like in my butt, and that scared the crap out of me. Like it's just not being able to get unclipped, not being able to. We're taught how to fall. You tuck and roll, and you can't really do. I mean, I didn't do a very good example of that at Dirtyfest, but we can't do that with clips on. Yeah, I forgot how to tuck and roll because I've been clipped in all these years. But yeah, so I don't know. The clips kind of scare me. The shoes are goofy looking, so I like my Vans, But just seeing the sport progress with everything else. I mean, you watch it. With swimming, the stuff that they have now to swim, or if you look at motocross or supercross, and everything's got to evolve,
Right.
and I think with BMX, though, we can take it how we want to. We can ride flats, we can ride clips, we can get that really cool new uniform, or we can get out there in jeans and a cotton long sleeve shirt, and it doesn't matter. You can wear your open face and your Jofa, or you can go for the full on carbon fiber full face helmet that talks to you while you're racing. I don't know. Like, so, there's your good and your bad, but I think we can take it. That's the good thing about the sport. We can take it how far we want to. I
That's
can race
true.
my 1988 Elf, or I can race my new Supercross. You just take it to the level you want to take it to, and it doesn't matter. We're still having fun. And even if you're at a competitive level, I think you can kind of take it the way you want to. But I think if you are going to, especially depending on your class, though, if you're 17 to 20X, or you're up there with Dick Cheeseburger in the 36 to 40 or whatever it is he's racing, I think you have to kind of step your game up. You're going to probably have to be clipped in. You're probably going to have to get that elite bike.
Yeah.
Because those classes are rough. 15, 16, 17, 20, those are a little rough. But if you're old guys like us, then I think we can take it where we want to take it, because we're still just having fun, right?
Yeah, it's a true story. I was at a local race. It was, I don't know, it's probably 5 years ago. And then, Kevin, I didn't have a class that day. So they mixed up, they took a couple of us old guys and they put us in with a couple 16, 17 novices. And I'm like, okay. And I was looking at these kids, and they were riding dirt bikes, jump bikes, with the small gears and all that. And I'm like,
dirt jumpers.
They're not even on proper race bikes, right? And I'm all on my fly race gear and all that, and they're in their, just jeans and hoodies and whatever. And I'm like, okay, so the 16-year-old version of me thinks I'm going to smoke these kids, but the 50-year-old version of me is like, holy shit, they're so young, And so none of them had raced. You can tell because they were barely balancing on the gate. So I got the snap, I took off. And I'm like, I'm beating 16-year-olds, and I'm feeling really good, right? I got through the first turn. I had the lead. Moving into the second turn, that's when you start to feel your age. And these kids started coming, man, and I couldn't stop them, man. They could jump so well, and they were all awkward, but they had youth on their side, and they blew right past me. I was like, Damn it! I said, if this was 1986, dude, I would have smoked you kids. But yeah, it definitely wasn't.
Yeah.
Danny, I was telling Holly before you came on that Rob Ramunda was the one that put me out of BMX forever. He's the one that retired me. But when I lightly attempted to come back, probably I don't know 12, 13 years ago. I had a cruiser and I was up at the Grand Prix and racing Rob in the same motos. There were like 12-year-old cruisers, 14-year-old cruisers. They just put every cruiser together, dude. And I was racing 14-year-olds, 13, and it was bad. I don't think that they smoked me that well. Yeah, they smoked me, but it was Rob that really put the final nail in my coffin, man. I'm like, okay, I'm done. There's no way I'm racing cruiser. Maybe I could do something in class, but no, not in cruiser, no way. So
it's funny how
I race 14-year-olds.
It's funny how your mind tells you can still do it, but your body will remind you pretty quickly. You're like, oh, hold on, dude.
To the first turn,
Oh yeah.
To the first turn, no problem. I can hang.
Yeah. Oh, you know what, Holly? I was at Dirtyfest. I didn't see you there. I'm sorry, but I heard you had a crash. So what happened?
I forgot how to tuck and roll.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened. My third run on the track, I think I was probably going too fast and I went in too low second turn, and that track was kind of brutal. It took a lot of us out. But I went into that second turn probably a little too fast, and I hit a pocket of just powder dirt. And bike just flipped out from underneath me, and I just came down and ended up breaking my collarbone.
Oh, I didn't know it was that bad.
It's pretty bad. I've got a 6 millimeter overlay on the two bones, and then I've got two fragments, like floating fragments in there. I just had my x-ray, my 6 weeks, so it said that there's no significant improvement yet. I've got two fragments, a 9 millimeter and an 11 millimeter bone piece floating around, and I'm still out for the count. So
how's your
that was
movement?
my third.
Can you move your shoulders at all, or you're still?
Oh no, it starts shaking about right here. I mean, I can't cross over my body too far. It starts like shaking. I'm trying to strengthen my shoulders right now. The doctor said that he's okay with slight range of motion exercises, but he doesn't want me to push anything. He said that it's just too bad right now. So, but yeah, my third lap, I was so bummed. I got there Friday and I was all excited, and the track was sick. It was so easy. Did such a great job on that track, but
a lot of people slid out. A lot of people did. You're right.
Yeah, and it was downhill, so that the starting hill was way up higher than it was last year. I made it through the track last year just fine, but this track was a little bit brutal. So
it was your third practice lap, right? You didn't even get to race at all. Yeah.
No, but I got fourth. I got fourth at Dirtyfest because I was still on the moto sheet.
That counts.
I can say I got fourth at Dirtyfest.
Oh man, that's funny.
No, I didn't even get to, and I was so excited because Courtney and I had been talking about it, that we were going to race, and then I was going to do that Mother Merlot pit bike thing or whatever.
Yeah.
The scooter race that they did. But even after watching that, I would have not even have attempted that, even if I was in one piece, because I've never been on a scooter, and then watching them come down that starting hill. And I told everybody at Dirtyfest, like, one way or another, I would have walked out of there broken. Whether I would have raced, I probably would have crashed and been broken, or if I would have attempted that scooter thing, I'd have probably crashed. So either way, I was leaving Sunday broken.
That leads to another question. So like with Frogtown and Dirtyfest, this is supposed to be kind of a fun event, but I'm starting to get the sense that people are taking it kind of serious. Like the last time I went to, I went to Dirtyfest, but the last time I went to Frogtown, I'm like, I commented on my own video, I go, these guys are like really trying to win now. It's not like they're just, hey, let's pull out our old bikes and let's chase each other around. It's like, no, man, they look forward to this event. They're like, this is our grands. We're going to go and kick ass at this race. And it's crazy because Kevin's right. I saw a lot of crashes. I was like filming and going, whoa, I see a cloud of dust everywhere, and the track is fast. I mean, guys our age were zooming past me.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, they were moving, and I was like, ooh, that's a little bit crazy. I was a little jealous because I wanted to play because I was just hanging out with Kevin.
Yeah. Yeah. I saw you guys there at the booth. I talked to Kevin a little bit, but yeah, it's so hard there because there's so much going on, and like there's so many people, and so like I didn't even see so many people. Like I missed out on, they had the Rad reunion, to where like Kevin and like, Sheepdog and Milwee and Veltman. I missed Veltman. I saw them doing the photos and a video that they were doing, the whole group of them.
Yeah.
I was sitting up where you guys were actually. I was sitting up in the tent with John Salami at his booth, but we watched him do that. But I wanted to run down there and, check it out and say hi to everybody. But being broken, I was just kind of like, I'll just sit here and but there's just so much going on there. Like so much. And even John Salami said that because he raced Dirtyfest this year and he didn't get any of his interviews in. Anything that he had planned and set out to do, because he was so, like you said, he was so focused on the race, and then he was so focused on winning that race, that he totally just kind of blew off everything else, and it happened so fast.
Right.
That,
When
you
he
either have to be.
When he crashed, I feel sorry for him. He looked dejected, man. Like, oh man, he actually trained. He was actually prepared, right? He didn't just show up on a bike. I mean, he went there to win. And I was like, oh, bro, dude, I'm sorry, man. He had a pretty nasty crash.
Well, you go on sensory overload when you go to these events, because I knew when I got there, I've got to get at least 40 minutes of footage. That was like my goal, so I can create my YouTube video. And it's hard because Kevin and I were talking about, should we do interviews? Should we just hang out? And there was just no way. It was just too much happening, and we were running around. I was filming races, filming the bike show, and I was getting photos of riders, and there was just no way. I didn't have time to really like do anything with Kevin, and I felt bad. I'm like, man, we talked to so many people. I should have filmed it. And there was like, Ronnie Anderson was saying some crazy things, and I go, oh my God, I probably shouldn't have filmed that, even if I. And then we talked to Brian Gass, we talked to Dale Holmes. All these guys were just chatting, and I was thinking to myself, oh my God, Kevin, I could have made you such a killer video just for his channel, because Kevin's the interview guy, and I was like, oh man, I should have put it together, but I was starstruck too. On top of that, I'm like, oh
my
wow.
God, totally.
Yeah.
And it's almost like you have to have like your phone or have a video camera on the entire time you're walking around and talking, because you get in those conversations with people, especially you guys being, your podcast and interviews, like you just have to have it on. Like even with Salami, he was sitting there talking to like TC, or he was sitting there talking to John Kerr. And like, I probably should have just turned my phone on and just started recording, just, candid camera, like, and then sent him the footage later, and he could have done what he wanted with it. But yeah, for you guys, it's almost like you just need to have a film crew with you. Like, Lance Simpson did that. He had his film crew with him, and they just walked around talking to everybody and filming everybody. So maybe next year you guys just kind of get a video guy to just follow you around and just have those candid conversations, and then make it.
Yeah. The problem with that, I mean, I feel weird because we're nobodies, right, Danny?
Yeah, we're factory intermediates.
I see Dale Holmes, BMX Weekly. I get that. He has a camera going around, but Danny and I walk around going, hey, what the hell are you?
Yeah, but I wouldn't say you guys are nobody. Everybody, I mean, people know your podcasts. They may not know you individually or personally, but absolutely everybody out there knows who you are. Being out at Dirtyfest and being up where you guys had prime real estate right there, being up there, just getting people just to see. I mean, it might be somebody says like, oh yeah, that Kevin Wilson guy, and they're like, oh, who's that? And then you go the podcast, the BMX
the guy
podcast.
with the big head, the guy with the huge head.
That tall guy, that big guy.
Hey, Holly, we look ridiculous together because Kevin's so big and I'm short in stature. So it's like, we just look nuts.
Holly, I never even met Danny until Dirtyfest. That's hilarious.
Dirty this year?
Yeah,
we
yeah,
never
we
met
had
each
talked. We knew each other because we'd done videos and we've talked on the phone a lot, and we collaborated everything with never even meeting face to face. Yeah, so it was like when I got to his house and I saw Kevin drive by, I was waiting in front of his house. I'm like, oh, there's Kevin. I was actually filming for my own channel, and it didn't feel weird because I had talked to him so many times, but it was strange when I saw how big of a man he was. I'm like, holy crap, well, you're so huge.
I never even see Danny without his hat on.
Yeah, I took my hat off in his house, and he goes, I've never seen you without a hat. I'm like, there's not much to see, dude. Most of the hair is gone.
Yeah, you will. Pretty funny.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So, Holly, when you started what got you into racing? I know Kevin probably asked you this, but I don't know the answer. What really got you into racing? And then what's kept you in it all this time?
So my brother back in Colorado, he started racing. I was a gymnast. And again, doing the girl thing, going to the track, was rolling around in the dirt. That was something boys did. I just wanted to put on my tutu and go play on a balance beam or some uneven bars. And then my brother and his friends would ride around the house, ride around the cul-de-sac. They'd be jumping off rocks in our front yard. And then a couple years later, I probably just being around it so much, I decided I wanted to give it a try, and I did. And here we are today. We moved to Arizona in 82 or 83 and just started following the crowd. And, back then it was insane. You were 3 tracks on Saturday, 3 tracks on Sunday, chasing points. Wow. Yeah, we would literally at one track, mom would be in the tower on the phone calling the next track, getting everybody pre-registered. We might miss first moto up in Prescott, but we made it from Black Mountain up to Prescott, and then from Prescott back down to Chandler BMX, all on a Saturday, and then we'd start all over on Sunday.
So your mom was like your biggest supporter at the beginning, would you say?
Yeah. Mom and dad, we had the BMX mobile. It was a wood panel station wagon that
Nice.
they drove everybody around. We'd pack that thing in as best we could, and we would take kids, all over, because it was kind of like that. The parents just kind of collaborated, and they were like, okay, we're going to take the kids to Prescott. You go ahead and meet us at Chandler, get everything set up or pre-registered, and we'll meet you down there. So we kind of had, the parents had a little kind of system going.
Nice.
But yeah, mom kept track, and I have all of it now. I have, gosh, she would keep track of everybody's place, like this local race, this national. JD got first, Galen got third, Holly fell, Tiffany this, Chad that, and I have it all still. She kept it.
That's amazing.
But she was definitely our biggest supporter, and she made sure we were all fed and healthy and our points were taken care of. And she was constantly checking out the points with ABA to make sure we all got credited for our points. And her and Clayton Dawn were in quite a few scuffles over points and stuff like that. Yeah, so mom and dad were definitely there. And then when I turned 14 or 15, my brother had quit racing.
Yeah.
I continued. I just got better. He started into the, school stuff, playing sports. And I got on ESP, and basically the day school got out, I was on a plane, in a car, in a van, traveling all over the country. And then, first day back at school, somebody's dropping me off on the doorstep at school. And that was pretty much my life until I turned 19, till after high school.
Yeah. So when you hear the term like BMX is in my blood, do you feel that's a real thing?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I quit. I traveled with the X Games, Gravity Games, the Do Tour in the early 2000s, like late 90s, early 2000s. And then I got back into BMX after having my daughters. And again, it's just like they say, you get on a bike, you fall off, you get back up, and you just keep going. And I felt like that in 2015, 2016, I got back on that bike, and it felt right. It absolutely felt right. So it's a passion. It's in your blood. I don't care who you are. At 70 years old, you're still going to be picking up that bike, and you're going to feel that electricity and that passion.
It's funny because
but mine goes to the 80s.
What's that?
I told Danny this before, where I'm almost embarrassed to admit it, but I really don't follow new BMX anymore, racing. Even though, if it came on TV, I'd watch it. But what I'm in love with the memories of, and the culture and the music and the vibe of the 80s. Everything encompasses the 80s, which includes BMX for me. It was absolutely, I know the people say, BMX was their life, but BMX was my life.
Oh, yeah.
I did not think of anything else besides BMX. I've never really got into too much detail about my growing up, but I pretty much ditched 4 years of school to ride my bike. I didn't graduate from high school. I would ditch school to go racing. I would ditch school to go riding. It kept me out of trouble. I didn't get into drugs. I didn't get into alcohol, but it got me into trouble with my schoolwork. I never went to school. I always had different things. So for me, it's like I was in love with the music, the culture, the movies, all
The
that.
fashion.
That's what I'm in love with, and that's what's in my blood. I wish it was current, but it's just not for me. I
Yeah.
can't. It's just the honest to God truth. I could never do a new school podcast. There's no way. I couldn't do. I don't have the interest. And people have told me many times that they can tell when I'm interested in a subject. Where they say, Kev, I can totally tell when you're. I think it's my family. I think my wife told me that. She said, I can totally tell when you're not interested in it, because I go, really? I try not to zone out. But she tells me, yeah, you zone out.
I think he got stuck. Are you there, Kevin?
He froze. He was so interested, he froze.
Yeah, see, he killed himself. Oh, you know what, Holly? I was going to ask you, because you said a couple things, and I wrote down some notes because I'm going to ask you a couple questions. So first of all, let's go back to the station wagon. Okay, so when I was a kid in the early 80s, in the late 70s, there was I remember the wood panel station wagons. And they had those seats that faced backwards in the back of the, I don't know if yours did that, but I always thought that was super dangerous. And then it makes me think, I'm like, holy crap, we piled everybody in cars. Nobody wore seatbelts. And it was just nuts. How many people did you get in that station wagon at a time, would you say?
Probably like me, my brother, and maybe 3 or 4 other kids, plus our bikes and, our gear and stuff like that at any given moment. Because, we were either picking up Mikey Champlin or, some of the kids, the Haskins or something. If their parents were running Chandler BMX, we were taking the kids up to Prescott or Black Mountain. So, they could run the track. And so we, probably me, my brother, and, 3 or 4 other little kiddos jumping in.
I just remember piling in the cars, man. Maybe not even for BMX events, just family vacations. We'd be like 10 people in one car. And I'm like, that's insane.
Yeah.
we had the Country Squire station wagon, absolutely, with the rear facing seats.
Yes.
That was a shit, man. We used to argue about who gets what seat, my brother and I.
Yeah. And did you guys ride in the back of a truck? Like, that was like normal stuff. Just sit back.
I died that way.
What's that now? I didn't hear you, Kev.
I think I died. Did I tell you the story?
No.
Okay. I'll make it fast. I don't want to. This is Holly's episode, but
no, this is fun. This is fun.
When I was 15, I think I was 15. It was a Christmas of when I was 15 years old. It was right after. It was between Christmas and New Year's, and I had gotten one of those Levi jackets with the fake fur on the inside. Do you guys remember those from the 80s?
Yeah.
And I'd gotten this jacket, and we were. One of my friends had a friend that came in that lived in La Puente and came into town, and we were driving around, screwing around in Sal Pasadena where I lived. And for some reason, one of our friends' parents wanted us to clean up their backyard. They had a lemon tree, and we had to pick up all these lemons and clean up the yard for my friend's mom. So we picked up all these lemons, and we had this big bucket of lemons, and my friend's friend had a pickup truck. And at first we were sitting outside of the houses, and we're throwing lemons at each other, messing around. And then eventually it migrated into cars. So my friend had his mom's B210, where my brother was in the back of the B210. I was in the back of this guy's pickup truck. Now, at first I'm sitting down, no problem, throwing lemons at each other. We're driving around town. None of us had driver's licenses. My friend's in his mom's car. He stole his mom's car. I'm in the guy's truck he's a year younger than me, and he didn't have a license either. And eventually we start getting high speeds, speeding around the town, throwing them. So I start standing up, and I start winging lemons. God. I had a 360 degree view of the shooting. Yeah. And my friends were in the back of the B210, so they could only lean out and throw lemons. Well, the truck that I was in pulled out of a driveway into the main street on Fremont in South Pasadena, and I was mid-crouch. I was about to throw a lemon, and I looked, and that's the last thing I remember.
Wow.
And it turns out that we got T-boned, and my brother watched the whole thing. I went flying about 30 feet in the air, and I landed on my head, and I landed on the corner of the curb, and it goes from here all the way up to here. I think it was like 300 stitches into my head, and I woke up like later on that day in the I want to make sure I got I woke up in the ambulance on the way to the hospital, and they were, he's awake, and they were making this big.
Oh, damn it, Kevin! I'm all involved with your story, and you froze again. He's killing me, Ollie. It's like a commercial break. I'm like, you woke up, and then what happened? Okay, wait, stop, Kevin, stop. You froze. So you woke up in the ambulance. Go from there. Okay.
I woke up in the ambulance, and they were saying, he's awake. Oh my gosh. And I went to the hospital, and so I'm 15 or 16 years old. They shaved half my head. I looked like James Spader. I looked like real long hair. I was part in the middle, feathered back. And they shaved half my head. And I was in the hospital for a couple of days, and I remember having real bad headaches for years after that. But for some reason, half of me says that I died, and half I talked to my brother. My mom before my mom passed, she didn't remember if I died or not. But for some reason, I remember someone telling me that I died, and they brought me back. To this day, I don't know for sure if my heart actually stopped, or it just almost stopped and I almost died. But I was really jacked up for many years after that. I'd had really bad headaches, and it was really kind of crazy stuff. But yeah, I have ridden the back of a pickup truck. Yes, I have.
Holy crap, dude! I wasn't expecting that.
Maybe it knocked some sense out of me.
That's a hell of a story, dude. So we could just stop the podcast right there.
Good night. I'm here all week.
Mic drop. No. Honestly, I made a video about this maybe 6 months ago. No one watched it, so I deleted it.
Well, now everybody's gonna watch it. Yeah. There was another thing Holly said. She said she was into gymnastics, right? Back in the early 80s. I'm assuming is when it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you remember Mary Lou Retton, right? How big and huge she was, and I don't know if you saw this the other day, and this is just off the topic. She got a DUI, and
I saw that.
And I felt so bad. It's because it's like, to me, when I see somebody like Mary Lou Retton, where I was like, you were plastered over everything. She was on TV constantly. She had a million endorsements, and then you just see this moment where she's very human, and she's getting arrested for a DUI, and my heart was just breaking for her. I was like, oh man, that's not what I wanted to see today. I felt so bad. Did you get a chance to see that, Holly?
I did. Yeah.
Yeah. What'd you think of that?
It's hard. It's sad. I mean, I looked up to her. She was an idol, obviously, growing up and being in gymnastics and stuff like that. And, and then those celebrities like that kind of fall off the grid. And then now it's almost like when she comes back on the grid, that's her story. And it's really, it's like, why do we have to go there? Why just let her do her thing? But then at the same time, she is a celebrity, and that kind of drama brings people around, right? But that's not what you want to hear. Like, where is she today? That's not what I want to see, but
Yeah,
I feel bad for her.
Happens when you let your guard down.
Yeah.
It was
Have you ever had a DUI? Have you ever had a DUI, Dan?
no, I don't even drink, so no, I'm good.
Yeah, I never had one either. I'm like I'm super
Yeah.
vigilant about not drinking and driving. I mean, I do other things, but I don't drink and drive.
It was a rough week for us Gen Xers because Hulk Hogan died, Ozzy Osbourne died, Malcolm Jamal Warner died. It was just a kind of a rough week for us the last couple weeks, and it just reminds us, we're mortal. Time moves on, and I just felt it's just been a weird week. I'll just put it to you that way. So anyway.
Yeah. Even though I wasn't a fan of heavy metal nor professional wrestling, but I can relate to that.
Well, yeah, but too, Ann Burrell, that Food Network star, she died.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. I didn't even know about that one. Thanks, Holly.
She died a week or two before the whole Hulk Hogan, Ozzy, and Malcolm. And then also that singer. What was that singer? The old singer guy. Mangione?
I did hear about that one, yeah.
So we lost like 5 people in the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
That's insane. And the iconic people, not just like, people from the 80s or whatever.
No.
Wow. Do you have any other questions for Holly, Kevin?
Well, I want to talk to her about a little bit about her nomination for the Hall of Fame for Arizona.
Woohoo! Let's hear it.
How does the whole thing work? I mean, I know I don't want you to jinx anything. I don't want you to.
There's always next year. There's always next year. There's always the year after that.
I'm just wondering how does one get nominated? How does the whole process work? Maybe your 10,000-foot view on the whole situation. Share some of your thoughts on the Hall of Fame for Arizona.
So I was actually contacted to be on the committee. Jaime Leja and like Rennie Dyer, they had all reached out, or Jaime reached out to me and said that they were going to do this. They were going to start an Arizona BMX Hall of Fame, and they had invited me to be on the committee. So I've been going to the meetings once a month. But as far as the nominations, once the nominations opened up, we put the link in there, kind of the same thing as nominating for USA BMX Hall of Fame. What is it, like Survey Monkey or whatever? Mm-hmm. All you really had to do was just go on there and nominate whoever you wanted. You could put as much information or as little information. So, I was nominating like some of the bike shops. Like I talked to Kevin from Gordy's and asked him about like the start of Gordy's and his dad, because I feel we were trying to get a lot of new people in there too, or the older people in there. So we were trying to get all the tracks involved, because at times it feels like it's really a Chandler BMX, Black Mountain BMX Hall of Fame, because that's kind of Arizona. But we were trying to get everybody involved, Tucson and, up at Turnell Henry's place and Miranda's place, trying to get everybody in there. But basically you just went and you just filled out a nomination form, the person's name, phone number, address, email address, if you know it, just any information. If you didn't have any information, it didn't matter, because as on a committee, we're going to look everything up anyway. Mm-hmm. And now we're just in the process of all the people that are nominated, having them submit like a resume or add to their bio. So having them put in the information and sending it over to our email address, so that as a committee, we can look at everybody. And we're just going to score them. I think it's like a point system. There's different categories. I don't even know what they are yet, because I haven't really looked at it, but, and then we're going to score all those nominations, and then we'll go in and kind of tally everything up, and, total points, the best score wins, I guess,
That's
it's
awesome.
like a total points race.
That's exciting. I'm happy for you.
To be able to nominate somebody, did you have to be from Arizona or race in Arizona? You could. I could have nominated somebody then.
Yeah. Anybody could nominate anybody from Arizona. So, I mean, you could have been in Australia and nominated, as long as that racer, the person you're nominating, had been in Arizona and raced in an Arizona district for at least 5 years.
Okay.
So like with Tim Littlethorpe, when we first moved out here, he was one of the first people me and my family had met. He was working for ABA and racing out of Chandler, but he didn't race for 5 years in Chandler, because I wanted to nominate him and I couldn't. And then like same thing with like the Texas Hall of Fame, because back in 2010, I think Mark Summers had contacted me to get me into the Texas BMX Hall of Fame. But when it went to the committee, even though I raced on ESP and I lived in Austin and I hung out at the Pflugerville bike shop, because I didn't accrue points in a Texas district, I was ineligible to be in the Texas Hall of Fame. So it's
Oh,
just, yeah, so it really kind of, Dugan Fennell and Eddie Sigmund, they were trying really hard to like break the rules and get me in there because a lot of people remember me from the ESP days, and those were my Texas days. But so it's the
That
same
makes
thing with
right.
their, huh?
Yeah, Tim's a solid dude, and that would have put him in 2 state Hall of Fames. He's
Yeah,
already
I was
he's
really,
Oklahoma or
yeah,
Nebraska. He's in
yeah.
Nebraska, and they would put him in 2 Hall of Fames, but no.
Yeah, and I was trying, and I reached out to him, and I was like, "How many years were you here in Arizona?" Like after they had said, you have to, and then he was like, "Oh, I was only there for a couple years," and I was like, "Oh
Yeah,
man, that sucks." But
yeah. Tim,
so yeah,
Tim, Tim,
anybody.
the man that knows everything about old suspension BMX bikes.
Oh, he's amazing. Yeah, and he was one. I've got a picture with him from back in the early '80s when we moved out here, in the parking lot at Chandler BMX. So.
awesome.
Yeah, so anybody could nominate anybody as long as it was an Arizona racer. We've got the categories. We've got like early racer, the women's racers, I think like even like the new school racer, like with Corbin Straw in there and stuff like that too. But it's going to be difficult. There's a lot of, because back in the '80s, it was like Arizona, SoCal, battle. Like we
Mhm.
had fast racers. They obviously had all the racers out there with, Carter and those guys. But, it's going to be tough. This first year will be, there's so many deserving people, and like even with the bike shops and
Yeah.
it's going to be tough because when you pick Bicycle Harbor and Swiss American and Gordy's, and it's going to be a tough one this year. That's why I said if it's not this year, it'll be next year, the year after that. It's
Isn't like Chandler BMX, like, is that still operating? Is
Mhm.
that still, so that's one of the most iconic tracks ever, I'd imagine, right?
Absolutely.
First ABA track ever.
Yep.
Yeah, because I remember reading about Chandler like as a little boy, going, "Wow, look at Chandler BMX," and all the big names are from there. And my cousin moved to Mesa, Arizona in the '80s, and he got to race Chandler one time. And I go, "What was that like?" I was so excited for him, and he goes, "Everybody's fast."
That's
Yeah.
hard as hell. I couldn't imagine racing Arizona nowhere.
So then he probably got to race the track when it had the bonsai, because Chandler was famous for their bonsai.
Oh yeah, it was like 1984-ish
Yeah, so
that
he
they
was the
were
one who
out
got the
there.
bonsai. Yeah.
Yeah, and Arizona's a different kind of heat, man. I've been there a few times, and I was there. I remember one time specifically, my mom took me on a business trip with her because I had never been on an airplane, and I was like I don't know, sophomore in high school. She goes, "I'm just going to take you with me so you can experience going on a plane," and I was like, "Okay, awesome." And I remember getting off the plane, and you go through that little tunnel that takes you to the airport, and I remember the heat, man, when you walked off the plane. It literally, I know, Kevin, you've probably been to Arizona, but it literally felt like I stepped into an oven. I was like, "Oh my God."
I couldn't imagine racing in Arizona. No way.
No
It's rough.
way, man.
It's rough.
Yeah, because what's the hottest you've ever experienced out there, Holly, as far as weather-wise?
Oh, I was here when it was 121.
Oh,
Yeah. And it was, what
God.
was that, Keith? Like 19, what was it, 121?
They were, when I went through 2003, they hit 122.
2003, it hit 122.
122. Dude, your eyes would dry out if you went outside. I don't even understand I can't even comprehend that.
Yeah, it's like, it's what, just a couple weeks ago, we were up at 116, 113. It's 107 today. So it's brutal. I
Wow.
mean, when you're frying eggs on your patio or your driveway, it's a little rough.
Crazy.
We-
Danny, have you looked at the nomination list online for the Arizona Hall of Fame? I mean, there's some heavy hitters, bro. There's some guys that I didn't even know were from Arizona. There were some guys that are like, oh man, I don't know. A lot of the women didn't sound familiar, but the guys sure did. I don't know if you looked at the nomination list.
I got to check it out. I haven't seen that. And when you mentioned Holly got nominated, I was like, oh wow, because I kind of forget those state level Hall of Fames, and they're a big deal in such a competitive area like Arizona, you know. So I can only imagine who's in there, you know.
I would argue that it may be harder to get into a state Hall of Fame than it is the National Hall of Fame because there's so many more people that you're going up against, right? I mean, to get in the National Hall of Fame, you got probably 3 or 4 people that you're fighting against. But in this state, man, there's like 25 dudes up for early racer. I mean,
wow,
it seems like it's not a cakewalk, man. It seemed to me like it'd be just as hard, if not harder.
Yeah, I imagine so. I mean, that's one of the things I wanted to see, by the way, is that USA BMX Hall of Fame. It's kind of on my bucket list of things I want to go look at because I've only seen it on, you know, YouTube and stuff like that. And I really like to go around and just walk around and absorb that and just take a look at it. I don't know if it's worth the trip to Oklahoma.
Dude, if we went together, I would be done. I would probably be done in about an hour, and I would be sitting outside waiting for you, and you'd be like 10 hours later, you'd still be walking around going, what's this? This says this. It would totally be hilarious, dude. I'd be like, okay, cool. All right, I'm done.
That's 100% correct because Kevin's attention span is not. I could do a magazine for 40 minutes and do a video out of it, and Kevin would probably go, "Oh yeah, that's a pretty cool magazine." Anyway.
More like an hour and 40, dude. I don't think you've ever done a 40-minute magazine review.
Magazine reviews take me an average of about 40 to 45 minutes to do because every time I open up a BMX magazine, all this nostalgia stuff comes out, and I'm like, oh, I remember this, and I remember that, and I remember this, and then next thing you know, I'm looking at the timer on my camera going, holy shit, I've been talking too long.
You would think that's the first time you ever saw the magazine. The way he's so enthralled, and I wish I give him props, man. I wish I could do that, but he's like so involved, like it's great. I've given him a hard time, and I'm also giving him props over the time about that.
Oh, I'm going to tell you guys something really funny before we start doing trivia. I was like, this morning I'm sitting at the kitchen counter, and I'm having my coffee, and I pull out a couple magazines so I can come up with some questions. As I'm thumbing through it, there was like a Nora Cup. There was a Nora Cup ad in there, so you can pick #1 bike, #1 rider, blah blah blah. And I was looking at the name on there, and it wasn't my handwriting. I go, whose handwriting is that? And it was my buddy from middle school's named Steve Ruelis, and we're still friends on Facebook. I haven't seen him since we graduated in '88, but I was like, holy crap! So I took a photo of it and I sent it to him on Messenger. I go, check this out. You must have gave me this magazine back in the 8th grade. And he responded immediately. He goes, man, that's awesome. I can't believe you still have that. And blah, blah, blah. And I said, yeah, I'm preparing to go on a podcast. And your magazine, I found it just random. It was pretty cool.
Was he fast?
He wasn't a racer. He was just a big time BMX fan. You know, he had the bikes and liked to ride. He was more of a traditional sports guy. He was super track athlete. Okay. He was really great at soccer, all the traditional sports he was really good at.
Got it. Shout out to Steve.
Well, that's how William Prince and I got like reconnected from Ghetto Wear out there in Florida. On Messenger a couple years ago, I got a message from him with a picture of a BMX magazine, but the label on the magazine was my brother. So it said Chad Dunn, and it had our address in Tempe from 1984-5. So he messages me on Messenger, and he goes, hey, by any chance, is this your brother? Mind you, I haven't talked to William Prince since 1987. And he says, is this your brother? And I look at it, and there it is, our Redfield Road, Tempe, Arizona.
Whoa.
And I was like, yeah. I was like, how do you have that magazine in Florida? And he says, I don't know, maybe somewhere down the line, like I bought it off of somebody or somebody gave it to me. Or he's like, I don't know, but if you want it back, I can send it to you. And of course, I was like, I probably have another copy because Chad and I both got a copy, and just keep it in your collection because Prince's collection is amazing. But that's how William Prince and I got reconnected from Ghetto Wear. And then he saw that I was racing again, and he's like, do you want to start riding Ghetto Wear again? And sure, send me what you got and I'll promote it. So
he's a nice guy.
Those stories are so fun.
Yeah. You know, you're making me think, Holly, where did all these magazines go if they didn't hit a landfill? You know what I mean?
I have all mine. I have all mine in under bed boxes and crates out in the garage. I've got some up on bookshelves out in my garage. So I still have all my American BMXer newspapers.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh, if I was at Holly's house, Kevin, I would be sitting on the floor, all freaking crisscross applesauce, looking at all her stuff. I guarantee you, I would be going nuts.
Yeah. And I have all this stuff that like we did, like back at Chandler BMX, we had done some skits at some of the elementary schools. So we did like these
Yeah.
say no to drug skits, but we correlated BMX in with like the say no to drugs, get on your bike. So I have all of our skits and the playlists that we had to do and the lineup and a lot of BMX like Chandler memorabilia. I have, they just tore down the original tower to build a new tower.
Oh,
I have pieces of the original tower that I decoupaged an old picture of Chandler on the pieces of the tower. And I actually gave them out to some of the old school, like Tiffany and Digger Kelso. And we gave Isaac, Big Bike Isaac had given one to Mike Miranda. But we were out there with a saw and cutting up the tower. So I've got a couple pieces of that at the house. I've got the original piece of the door that has the lock to get
wow.
into the tower in my garage. Yeah, it's like a museum. Like Rachel Blackwell calls it a museum. If you were to go to Holly's house, it'd be like a museum.
Oh,
Yeah, you need a room, especially just in your house for all your BMX memorabilia. You can make your own little Hall of Fame.
I'd like to turn my garage into that like BMX cave, and I'd like to do that to where you can come in and like just see everything. I've got posters and just all kinds of cool stuff over there. So
That's awesome.
yeah.
Well, Kevin, we're at the hour mark. Should we play?
let's play. Let
It's
the
gonna be
games
brutal.
begin.
This is gonna be brutal.
This has been
Make it
fun.
easy. Make it easy.
Yeah. Hey, Kev, sorry I bogarted a lot of the questions. I never met Holly before, so I got a little crazy with the questions. So sorry
All
about that.
No. You're good.
All right. Okay, so this is how the game works. Holly, you're going to officially score some points today. Kevin talked a little bit about the leaderboard for our points. Colin Stiles is tied for first place with Shane Wimberly at 20 points. And then Kent Lowry's got 10 points. And then it's Nick DeSanti and with 5 points.
5.
Al Royble's got 5 points. Is that right, Kevin? Am I missing anybody?
And Rich Kerr has 5 points.
Richard Kerr has 5 points. So how this is going to work, Holly, we have 2 different categories, which is BMX racing. This one, most of these questions are from about 1984. And then we're going to play pop culture. All the pop culture questions are from 1980 or 1980s. You can pick a category. I want to do BMX. I want to do pop culture. If you miss the question, Kevin can steal it and vice versa. You can go back and forth. And then if you win today, you get 20 points on our battle chart. We'll see how you stack up, and then hopefully you'll come back and come play again. Sound good?
She's guaranteed 10 points.
Guaranteed 10 points today, just like she was guaranteed 4th place at Dirtyfest. Even though. All right, you guys ready?
You can't get DQ'd here.
You cannot. Yeah. No way you're going to break your column.
Too.
Okay, so Holly's the guest. She goes first. Holly, do you want to do BMX? Do you want to do pop culture? What are you feeling?
Let's do BMX. Let's give it a shot.
All right. These questions are not that difficult. So the first question for 1984, who was known as the Avalanche?
Richie Anderson.
Richie Anderson. Good warm-up question. So
thank you.
Holly's on the board. Holly's on the board. Okay. All right, Kevin.
BMX.
Oh, this one might be a little tricky. What's Eric Group's brother's name? Also a BMX. Oh, man, I didn't think people were going to know that one. Got it. All right, Robbie Roop. 2-2. Holly, what do you want to do? Or 1-1?
1-1.
1-1.
Let's go BMX again.
BMX. All right, here we go. Who made the brake guard? What company made the brake guard? That little plastic piece that went over the side of, mounted on the side of your bike. They called it a brake guard.
I would say Ghetto Wear, but because they had the hand guard. Who made a brake guard?
It's a tough question.
Yeah, Getaware had the handguard.
Got to go a little further back there because remember, it's about 1984. It was a little plastic piece that mounted on the side of your bike.
I'm gonna go with GT. They
Oh,
made
that
everything.
was actually close. Do you know, Kevin?
What was her answer?
GT.
She said GT.
Brake guard.
I was thinking Flight.
Also a good guess. Dyno. Dyno made the brake guard. So she said GT, which was part of Dyno later on down the road. So that was really good guess, Holly. All right, so we're still 1-1. Kevin,
1-1.
your turn, right? What do you want to do?
Oh, it's a me. Pop culture.
Pop culture, first one. What animated series featured a blue-skinned villain named Skeletor?
Oh no. Oh,
Uh-oh.
Wait. Skeleton, blue skin.
Want me to say it again? Want me to read it again?
Yeah. Read it again.
Skeletor.
What animated series featured a blue-skinned villain named Skeletor?
G.I. Joe.
No.
Oh, that's a miss. Holly, you could steal.
It's on the tip of my tongue, but I can't get, I know what it is. I can picture it. It's, but I can't think of the name. I know exactly what it is, but I can't. I know Skeletor.
Is that the one with the robots?
No, you're thinking of Transformers.
Transformers.
Holly,
Yeah.
is your husband's in the background? Can you ask him if he knows?
No, I'm not married, but no, he's not here.
Oh, he's not there?
Uh-uh.
Oh, shoot. Okay, it's He-Man, guys.
He-Man.
He-Man. And the Masters of the Universe.
Yeah,
All
I
right.
needed Skeletor answer. It was He-Man.
Oh, sorry.
He-Man? That was the answer?
Yeah. I have a bonus question for this one. Okay, so it'll give you guys a chance. So, Holly, you missed it, right? No, wait, Kevin, you were original
I
person.
missed it. All he could steal.
Okay, what was He-Man's catchphrase?
I am He-Man. I am Skeletor.
That's a good guess. What do you think, Kevin?
No idea. I didn't watch it.
I have the power. You guys, nobody watch cartoons?
That's my catchphrase, dude.
I didn't watch cartoons. I was busy riding my bike.
All right. So that's
I was
okay.
in the
1-1.
Rainbow Bright and Monchichi dolls.
There you go. Damn, I haven't heard that in a long time. Okay, so Kevin, and is it Holly's turn?
No,
I think it's
Kevin.
probably-
Oh, no, because you asked me the catchphrase.
Oh, that was just the bonus though. So
Oh,
it's
okay.
it's Holly's turn.
All right, let's go pop culture. I haven't done
Pop
that one.
culture. All right, here we go. Oh, this shouldn't be that hard. Who sang "What's Love Got to Do with It"?
Tina Turner.
Tina Turner. All right, good one, Holly. You're in there. Okay, Kevin.
Pop culture.
Pop culture. Boy George was the lead singer of what band?
Culture Club.
Ooh, you paused for a second.
I thought I had him.
Okay, do you know what band he was in before Culture Club?
No, and I know you jerk.
Holly, you might know this one. Do you know what band he was in?
Uh-uh.
He was in Bow Wow Wow before he was in Culture Club.
Was he really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Absolutely didn't know
His name
that.
was Lieutenant Lush.
Oh, hell no.
I
That is
swear to God,
funny.
man.
Oh, that's
All right.
fitting. That's fitting.
Okay, Holly, you got to get back on the board here. You guys are tied up. So what
Let's
do you
go
want to do?
BMX.
Wait, we're tied up? I thought I just got one.
Was that your second one, dude? Because that's gave you two.
That's
Unless
true.
I was, because Holly has two. That was your third one, wasn't it?
Robbie Roop, Culture
Culture
Club.
Club.
What was the other?
We both missed
No,
He-Man.
you only got two because you didn't know the break guard one either.
Okay, two tied. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Okay, it's tied up. Okay, Holly, what do you want to do?
BMX.
The complete book of BMX was written by who? I can give you a hint. The person was associated with BMX Action Magazine. So the complete book of BMX. It was a thick book, black cover, the complete book of BMX.
Bob Harrow.
Ooh, so close. Kevin.
Bob Osborne.
Bob Osborne.
That was my, yeah.
Yeah. All right, Kevin.
That was
with
my
the
second
steal.
guess. Yeah.
All right, Kevin, you got the steal, and it's your turn. It's 3-2. What do you want to do?
Pop culture.
Pop culture. Okay. The Carrington family was part of what nighttime soap opera series?
The
Carrington. The Carrington.
family.
Dallas.
That's a miss. What do you think, Holly?
Knots Landing.
Oh, another good guess. It was actually Dynasty. Yeah, all right. Okay, so we're moving back to Kevin. That was your question, right?
Yeah. Holly.
Okay, Holly.
BMX.
Going back to BMX. Okay, complete this product name. Are you ready? Blank Factory Pilot.
Flight.
Oh, that's a miss, Kevin. What do you think?
Oakley Factory Pilot.
Oakley.
Factory Pilot. All right, good one, good one.
I can see it in their ad now, yeah.
Sorry. Okay, guys, we're moving along. Kevin, what do you think?
Okay. My turn.
Your turn.
BMX.
What is the name of the baddest female racer of the 1980s?
Sherry Elliott.
Sherry Elliott. That's not fair because we talked about her a lot today. Good job,
He is the
Kevin.
baddest, so.
He was the baddest. He was the baddest. Okay, what do you think, Holly?
Pop culture.
Pop culture. All right, here we go. In 1985, what was the name of the huge charity song? I'm sorry, let me read this again. In 1985, what was the name of the group that sang the huge charity song for USA for Africa? What was the name of the song? Do you know what I'm talking about?
We Are the World?
We Are the World. Yes, good job. That was a hard question to write down. I knew what I wanted to say, but I couldn't put it in words. Okay. All right. So Holly's got 3, Kevin's at 5, so she's picking up some ground. What do you think, Kevin? What do you want to do?
Pop culture.
Pop culture. Okay, this is a quote from another animated series. You have to tell me the name of the show. Ready? Meanwhile, Back at the Hall of Justice came from what animated series?
The Justice League.
No. Holly.
Oh, that's what I was thinking. Well, you want to know what
What was the show called, though?
the show?
Yeah.
Oh, I know what it is.
No.
I know what it is.
Back at the Justice League.
Meanwhile, Back at the Hall of Justice. Justice League is the right group, but the show was called something, though.
Don't say it. I'll say it later on. I know it.
Okay.
I don't know. Superman.
Close.
So close. So close.
Wonder Woman.
Okay.
Superman. I don't know.
All right, Kevin, she missed it, but I'm going to give her a hint. Okay. So super, and then think of a 1990s TV show that was super popular. It had one word in it. I'm killing her.
It's
I don't know.
Super Friends.
Super Friends. Yeah, it was Super Friends. So nobody gets it because remember, Kevin, we said we're not going to go back and forth as the one time. Okay. All right. So it's still 5-3, and so I guess it's Holly's turn again. What do you want to do, Holly?
Let's do BMX.
What was the name of the muscle-bound BMX pro that raced for Proneck back in 1984? Muscle-bound dude, gigantic guy, raced for Proneck in 1984. Most of his ads, yes, Sean Texas. He was always shirtless, that guy.
Oh, yes, it was.
But if I was Sean Texas, I would never wear a shirt either. I'd probably just walk around.
Yeah, me neither. Yeah.
All right, that's awesome. Okay, so that brought Holly up to 4. Kevin, it's 4-5. You have a slight lead. What do you want to do?
BMX.
Back to BMX. Okay. In 1984, Mickey Lundy raced for what factory team?
Race Incorporated.
Race Incorporated. Good job, my dude.
Not Race Inc. Race Incorporated.
Oh,
I know.
okay.
I say it the same way. We talked about that. Okay, Holly, your turn.
Let's do pop culture.
Pop culture. Okay, AC/DC released what iconic album in 1980? Probably one of their best albums, in my opinion.
Back in Black?
Back in Black, you got it. Good job. Kevin, do you have any facts about AC/DC? Because I know you always have something interesting to say.
AC/DC Back in Black. That was AC/DC's first album after Bon Scott died.
There you go. I knew he knew something. And I know one fact about AC/DC. I guess the guy, I don't know who he is, but he wore the school uniform.
Angus Young.
Angus.
Yeah.
Angus
Do
Young.
you know the background story as to why he wore that school uniform?
Yeah.
What was it?
His sister told him he looked like a schoolboy, so he put the uniform on.
Is that it? Is that what it was?
He tried all kinds of different. He'd like dress up in all different types of outfits, and then his sister goes, "I don't know why you're doing that. You just look like a schoolboy." So he put the schoolboy uniform on.
No way. Was that his actual school uniform, or was it just something he just put together?
No.
Oh, okay. All right. So
and AC/DC did not come from a wait. I don't know. I think it came from a sewing machine.
Did it really?
Yeah.
Wow.
On the plug for the sewing machine, it said
Yeah.
AC/DC on it.
DC stands for alternate current, direct current.
Alternate current, direct current.
That's it.
Okay.
That's absolutely
That's where
correct.
we get the name from.
Interesting.
We need to give him a point for that one.
Absolutely.
All right, Kevin. Let's see. It's your turn. Holly got that one right. It's 5-6.
Pop culture.
Pop culture. All right. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Aerosmith did a collaboration with what rap
Run
band?
DMC.
Run DMC. I didn't even finish the question, you show off.
Way to go, smarty pants.
Yeah. All right, Holly, back to you.
BMX.
BMX. Okay. What BMX company made the frame with a lightning bolt on the down tube? Kind of like it went.
Yeah, wasn't that like GT or Dyno?
Was that your answer?
Yeah.
What do you think, Kevin?
I want to say it's a CW Phase 1.
It was a CW Phase
CW.
1. Yeah. good job.
CW. Yep.
Good job.
That was, yeah, you're right.
Don't think out loud, Holly. Just go. All right. So you know what happens when people think out loud? Sometimes they give the answer away and somebody can steal it. I go,
Yeah.
oh, I think it was CW, but I'm going to say GT. And then somebody will say, no, CW. And it happens all the time. Okay, so let's see. That was Holly's question, Kevin. Is that
Yeah.
right? Okay,
Yeah.
Yep.
Kevin, what do you want to do?
BMX.
BMX. The lightest BMX seat and seat post combo in the 80s was made by who?
Uni.
Uni. Good job, Kevin. Kevin's opening up. Holly, you got to make up some ground. All right, what do you want to do?
Pop culture.
Pop culture. Okay, I think we got 2 left, guys. The character in a video game, Mario, first debuted as a playable character in what 1981 video game?
Donkey Kong.
Donkey Kong! Holly, I thought you were going to go, I don't know. You had that I don't know look.
I was like, oh, I got this one.
That was awesome. She was like, Donkey Kong.
Well, you know, it couldn't have been Centipede. It wasn't Dig Dug. Well, it could have been Dig Dug, but no, it wasn't.
You know what was the bomb game was Paperboy, dude. Oh, man, I love Paperboy.
Paperboy.
I played the hell out of that. I know exactly what you're talking about, Kevin. Okay, so what we're down to, guys, we have 3 BMX questions left, and I only have 1 pop culture left. So we're down to our last 4 questions. Holly, you got to kill it to win this game, but it's possible. Let's see that last straight pool. All right, what do you want, Kevin?
BMX.
BMX. I gave you that one already. I'm gonna name off these grips, and I want you to tell me who made them. Dual, round, and tri.
Amy.
Amy made those grips. Good job, Kevin. All right, Holly, what do you want to do?
BMX.
BMX. The DX pedal was made by what company?
Shimano.
Shimano. Good job. All right, so are we out of BMX questions, guys?
Uh-oh.
We did it. We're out of BMX questions. Kevin, you're going to get the last question of the day. What do you? So it is pop culture. Are you ready? Saturday morning cartoons. Finish this title. Schoolhouse blank.
Rock.
Schoolhouse Rock. You got it.
Yep.
And that is it, guys. That was a fun man. We went fast. That was 23 questions.
Reverse roll fist bump.
Yeah. Holly with 7 points. Kevin with an impressive 11 points, and he gets the win. But Holly, you did a great job, and that's going to score 10 points on our battle chart for you. So you're in the point standings now. And your mom's
Yay!
I wish your mom was here to audit our points.
I'll make sure she gets the list.
Dude, we make mistakes every episode. Do you know that, Danny? When I go back and watch them, like last week's, I didn't notice that you said you didn't give me a chance to steal it, and I totally missed. I didn't. One question I totally answer, and you didn't get a chance to steal it. I didn't even hear you say that. And do we make mistakes on every episode where it's like,
all the time.
Oh, it's John. So anybody that went back and audited these games would find a myriad of different mistakes. Dude.
Yeah, there was one that I felt so bad about because I think it was Kent was on, and it was his turn to steal, and he was like, "Oh, so it's not this answer." He didn't give a chance. I didn't give him a chance to say the answer, and he goes, "Well, that's not what I was going to say, Danny." And
it was Marty.
It was Marty. Yeah, and I blew right past Marty, and I was like, "Oh," because when I rewatched it, I go, "I didn't give him a fair chance to answer the question," and I felt
it was the price point. It was a question. What was the price point for the Mach 1?
That's exactly right. Yeah.
And he said, he goes, "Did you say 329?" And you're all, "No, wrong." And I was like,
yeah, I caught that, and I go, "Oh man, I cheated that dude." You know, but he still did good in the show. I try to take my time, and you know what's funny is like what's been going on, Holly, is we've been trying to get more than one person to play. You know, and it makes it. I mean, today was fun, by the way, but sometimes we have like 2 or 3 people playing, and it gets confusing, man. I'm like, whose turn is it again? Did you get da 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 da? And you know, but it's still a lot of fun. It's just for fun anyway. But there's money on the line.
I love that you guys are doing this with the podcast. I think it's hilarious. It's like, and it brings back like you're like, oh my God, I totally forgot about that. You know, or going through the magazine, you're like, oh my God, I can totally picture that ad in my head. You know, so I love that you guys are doing this.
Great,
That's
thanks, Holly.
Yeah, it's so fun.
It was a pleasure meeting you, by the way, and thank you for coming on.
Yes, and congratulations on your nomination.
Thank you.
Can people? It's the voting's out of the normal people's hands, right? Now it's on the committee.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right.
So now we're doing our total points. It's all going to be based off a point system. How we answer whatever the questions are per person. We have to, I guess, give them a number 1 to 5. I guess maybe like. Giving back to the community, let's just say, like, is it like barely or strongly, you know, 1 to 5. So I think that's how it works. I haven't gotten on the email and checked it out. That's kind of my, our next meeting is August 5th. And I'm guessing we're going to kind of go through it all then. So yeah, now it's just up to the committee and there's a lot of people on that list. You'll have to go take a look at it, Danny, but
yeah, I do. I got to look at that.
Yeah, this is going to be a full-time job here in the next couple of days, going through everybody's bios and giving them their little total points rundown. So.
Oh, me and Kevin, we should go through that. Maybe we can use it as a topic next time or something like that.
That'd be sick. That'd be sick. Good idea, man. Good idea.
There's some good people on there. Like Kevin said, there were people he didn't even realize either came out of Arizona or, you know, I learned about Lee Harding. He's one of the early. He was actually the first ever Arizona #1, like district #1. He's on our committee, and you know, there's the story that his dad was also involved in ABA before Merle Menega and Gene Roden. And I wanted to interview him at some point in time because I think he would be when we were sitting in that first meeting and he was telling us all this, I was in complete awe. So, and then now I'm getting to learn early racers too that were back before I came around in 1976, 77, 78. And just the history and the stories are they're so fun. So you guys will probably have a blast with it.
We got to dig into it, Kevin. I'm looking forward to
it.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, Holly, we appreciate your time. Thank you very much.
Bye. Thank you. Bye.
It's been a pleasure,
nice to
Holly.
meet you,
Next
Danny.
time, come on again.
Yep, we'll see you again soon.
All right, Holly.
All right, bye, guys.
Thank you.
All right, Kevin, good show, man. We did that.
That was fun, man. Really fun.
Yeah, very engaging. She's so fun to talk to, and I think that's going to make for a great show.
You know, we didn't have a lot of talking over each other too. It was clean.
Very clean, yeah.
Right?
Very clean, yeah.
You know, and other than me freezing up a couple of times, I think it was a pretty good show. But want to thank you, Rich, for stopping by. And you know what, Danny, for those out there, Danny does not just do this podcast with me. Danny has his own thing going. Danny, why don't you tell the people out there what you do that's much more interesting than what we do here?
I wouldn't say it's more interesting, but I got the Danny Pena BMX Racing on YouTube. I do BMX magazine reviews, BMX race reviews, live events, and things like that. I love talking about BMX in general. Please come watch, like, and subscribe. Kevin, I'm at 920. I'm almost to 1,000, man.
Nice.
I'm getting there slowly, and that's it.
Very good. If you would like to support the channel here at BMXers Podcast or the BMXers YouTube channel, I would like for you to go on to BMXPERTSPodcast.com where you could subscribe. You could email me if you have a show idea or you want to comment on the show at all. You can send me an email through there. You can subscribe, or you could watch videos, episodes of the show, and more importantly, you could support the channel by purchasing a T-shirt or what have you. Oh, I have some new. I got a new T-shirt. I got my son working on a T-shirt that says, "Until next week, the track is closed. Peace out." He's working on a new shirt.
Nice.
And, he's also working on a shirt that says that has Joan Call. You know, you've seen Mommy Dearest, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. No wire hangers.
No wire hangers, right?
Yeah.
He's gonna say no colored tires.
Oh, that's awesome. I love that.
I'm gonna have some new designs for T-shirts coming out. But if you'd like to go on and check out BMXPodcast.com, you can see what we got up there and so forth. So I appreciate all the support, and we appreciate you spending your Sunday. Your Saturday morning with us, because this episode will be released on Saturday morning. Thank you very much, everybody, for watching. And until next week, the track is closed. Peace out. Thanks, Danny.